Okay, hello and good morning everyone. Welcome to JFD Brokers Traders Espresso with me, Darison Chauskas. Today is the 4th of July 2018, so welcome everyone. Welcome to this Wednesday session. So we're gonna have a quick look at a few instruments, which I believe are probably could be the most interesting ones for today, especially. But before we do that, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So the content of this webinar does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, a few seconds for you to read the rest and we can continue. Okay, so also just a very quick reminder of our JFD Brokers research page, where you can go in and have a look at different analysis that we do on a daily basis. We throw out different trading shoutouts, of course technical analysis on its own. We do provide analysis in different other languages like German and Italian. So, and yeah, of course, please check our daily analysis that we produce every morning. This one is getting prepared right now, so it should come out soon. So, yep, I mean, I think you can find a lot of useful stuff here for yourself, guys, but for now, let's have a look at the charts. So the first one I want to look at is the DAX. Now, the DAX continues to sit here between these two levels. Basically sits here in this range here between the 12,450 approximately there and the approximately between the 12,150. So for now, of course, looking at this bigger picture on the daily chart, we're going to continue we're going to continue monitoring it, and probably we could end up seeing this one trading here sideways a little bit until it decides to break one of the sides. Now, this is probably where we could potentially get in on this one. So on a potential break here on the upper side or on the downside. So for example, if we zoom in a little bit here and take a 4-hour chart, we can see that we could potentially position ourselves here. Let me just slightly adjust these levels here probably. So actually no, it's okay. So we could potentially position ourselves something, let's say, for a possible long position, let's say from this level right here, from the 12,450, and trying to aim for slightly higher levels, initially aiming for this 12,600. Very good, strong potential area of resistance, but don't forget, of course, to have your stop loss in place. So a good stop loss could be maybe around this area right here, at around 12,300. Now we can see that this area in the past has been acting as a very good area of resistance and support. We can see that here and on the 4th of April we had a nice gap here where the price kind of just opened just slightly above it, above the 300 level. Sorry, the oh, I'm looking at the wrong level. Do apologize. This is the level that I'm talking about. There we go. My apologies for this, guys. So the 12,300, we can see that it acted as a good area of support here on the 25th of April. So this one's gonna be a good level to watch. So certainly if we get a nice move here to the upside, now this is just a potential idea here, then if we do get a nice break above the 12,450, we could start aiming for higher levels. Now this could be the first potential target where your reward ratio could be 1-to-1, with the stop loss here at around 12,300. But to be honest, if you want, you can not exit here. I mean, you could potentially, if you're in profit, move your stop loss just above your entry price, and this way you could protect your position here. And also, if this suddenly reverses back down, and you could at least break even here and not lose anything. So I mean, if we start breaking the 12,600, we could potentially drive, we could see this index getting driven towards the 12,785 mark, which also is quite an important level here. So there are some good levels, guys, to watch, and certainly at the moment, this is, if it was in regards to the upper side scenario, we could maybe see something like that. But on the downside, we need to see a nice strong move below the 12,150 in order to kind of start examining the lower side of it, so, or the lower level, so should put it that way. And we could then start aiming for the psychological 12,000 level, so which kind of could play out nicely here. Let me just kind of put a round number here. There we go. And yep, I mean, similar story here. If you would probably be entering here a position, then don't forget to put your stop loss. I mean, a good stop loss for this one could potentially be this little area right here at around 12,250 approximately there. So very good area of potential resistance here initially. But I mean, we could overshoot here. We could go towards this 21 EMA, but nevertheless, I mean, still probably it's better to cut your losses quickly. But that's in regards to, if let's say if this reverses against you here and moves higher. So for now, certainly continue monitoring this one, and we can see that yep, it's probably going to continue trading within this range for now. But once it starts breaking this either the 12,450 or the 12,150, well, this is where probably it could become more interesting. Looking at commodity sector, and we can see that oil, let's put a daily chart, and this is Brent oil. This is a daily chart, and we can see that last week we had a nice pop here. Certainly now this is looking more bullish than bearish, but then again, we could maybe get a surprise of some sort and maybe see a retracement back down. But for now, this is where the commodity is stuck. It's stuck between these levels here, the 77.15 and the 79.15. So approximately there. I'm going to zoom in a little bit on this one, and I'm just going to look at the levels in more detail here. But nevertheless, I mean, this is the approximate zone where it's stuck here, and also for this one, we need to see a nice move out of it in order to kind of start considering either the upper side levels here again or the downside ones. So for now, just keep on monitoring it. Certainly, let's have a look at a 4-hour chart quickly. And yep, so very good potential area breaking points here, the 77.15, and of course the let me just get rid of this. Yep, and yep, 79.15 as well. I mean, these are good potential areas to watch here. Certainly, if you enter a position here, I mean, on the buy side, then yep, I mean, once you're in profit, and if you're in profit, quickly, I should probably recommend to move your stop loss just above your entry price here, and in order to kind of again protect yourself, and just if it reverses back down, that doesn't matter. I mean, you'll get stopped out. At least you didn't lose anything, and you can at least try to enter the position again if you see that the price is kind of starting to reverse again back to the upside, and this is where you could enter the position again. So, and then try your should I say luck? Try your luck again, and and yeah, and could, like I said, we could start aiming for these higher levels here at around the 80.50 mark. So very good area of resistance, potential resistance for the Brent. We can see that yep, it acted as a very good resistance here in on the 17th of May, and then on the 22nd of May. So a very good area to watch here, but only if we get a nice pop here above this 79.15. On the downside, well, I mean, if we do get a break here below the 77.15, well, stay sharp here. We could eventually end up moving towards this this drop here, this low here that we had around 76.65, which also could place the commodity like slightly on the 200 EMA, which where probably the bulls and the bears would start battling it out. Who's gonna dictate the rules after that? So, and if this continues to drop, and if the bears kind of continue driving this one, then I mean, a good level, a good target could be this one, the 75.85 mark. So, but that's only, of course, if we get a nice break here below the 77.15. Let's have a look at a few pairs now quickly. The GBP USD, very good one. So this is a potential trade idea that I've posted yesterday, and so basically this is a 4-hour chart, guys, and certainly at the moment we can see that the pair is kind of slowly trying to climb higher here, and continues to kind of, you know, run higher here. We can see that this nice short-term upwards moving support line kind of continues to hold, and we could potentially see a nice move here, but for that one we need to see a nice pop here above the 132.15, and then we could probably start considering this level right here, slightly around the 133.15 mark, so maybe slightly lower here, maybe actually before we could touch this 200 EMA initially. And then of course if that doesn't hold, we could start moving higher a little bit, but for now stay sharp, especially with this one, because in about 2.5 hours we do get the UK services PMI number, which is quite an important number to watch, guys. And certainly if we do get a nice pop here to the upside, this could drive this one a little bit higher, and well, maybe we could squeeze something out of it, let's say like that. But of course, don't forget your stop losses. A good stop loss could be certainly could be around here, but let's actually get rid of this one right now. It's a bit in the way, but you could also try to play here something like that. Wait until maybe it's going to drop a little bit lower, see if maybe actually we could get a test of this upwards moving trend line as well, and then maybe we could see a bounce from it or something like that. So this could be another scenario which well, you should never exclude, guys. So for now, certainly keep an eye on this 132.15. If we start breaking it to the upside again, I mean, this could be seen as a positive. We could start aiming for higher levels here again, and yep, but like I said, don't forget your stop loss here. On the downside, well, if suddenly this starts to break to the downside, well, it could turn out to be ugly for the pair, and we could start aiming for these lows that we had recently at around 131 and then 130.50 approximately there. So but that's only, of course, if we get a nice break here below this upwards moving support line. Another one that we quickly wanted to touch on is the USD CAD. Now for this one, let's put a daily chart quickly, and certainly before actually I come back to the 4-hour chart, yep, we can see that this one kind of continues to drift lower, and we had a nice move here higher on Monday. It kind of retraced a little bit from this Friday's drop, and we can see that the 131.250 approximately there continues to act as a very strong area of support. Now certainly the question here is this going to continue acting as support today, or I mean, or is this going to be the end for it and we're just going to start moving lower and below that level? Now you can see that we had already a small break here to the downside, but then the bulls kind of managed to reach, like, bring it back again above, and now we're just holding around this area. I would probably recommend to stay sharp here, and stay careful, because we might get another like false breakout to the downside, but then the bulls might drive it back up again. And so for this one, we need to see a nice good close on the day, in order to kind of start considering moves to the downside in the slightly longer term, or should I say near term, and then we could start considering the 130.500, the 131.500, or even actually the 129.500, or even actually a move back down towards this upwards moving trend line, which could get tested if these two levels that I just mentioned gonna get broken. So for now, certainly keep an eye on this one. Let's put a quickly put a 4-hour chart on this one, and there we go. 4-hour chart, there we go. So we can see that, yep, the 131.250 kind of continues to hold the rate from dropping here, but even though, yeah, we did have a nice push here below, but then we quickly reversed back up. So for now, stay sharp on this one. Certainly if we start seeing a move towards this 131.650 area approximately there, and we could see a break of it and a move higher, then, well, this could not only place the pair back above this 131.650, but also above this 21 EMA, and then we could potentially start aiming for these recent highs that we had at around 132 250 approximately there. So keep a close eye on this one. This could play out nicely, but that's only, of course, if we get a nice pop here above the 131 650. But still, to be honest, it still looks bearish. But for like a full confirmation of this one drifting lower, we need to see a nice break below the 131 250, and then in order for us to kind of become more confident. And let's say if the 4-hour candle here is going to start moving, you could potentially enter a trade here, certainly, but the only thing is that don't forget your stop loss, guys. I mean, I cannot kind of point out the importance here of having your stop loss in place. So we could potentially maybe see something like this. This is a bit of a less convenient option here, but nevertheless, we could see something like this happening. Of course, your first target could be this 200 EMA, maybe around this area, and you could end up having a trade like this, but like I said, with the tight stop here at around this 131 650 that I was just talking about. Now, but as that is, of course, only if we start seeing moves back towards this 131 250, and then we start seeing a break below that, and this is probably where approximately a potential position could be entered. But like I said, with a very careful stop loss, guys. So okay, guys, I'll have to wrap it up here. I hope you found it useful. And if you want to join me later on, it's my Traders Tea Time, where we're going to have a look at a few other instruments and analyze that. So, but for now, I hope you have a good European session, and thank you very much, and bye-bye.